Welcome back to Maverick Fish Hunter. We're going to be touring the Florida Keys, looking for Goliath groupers, Lake Superior lake trout, always a blast. On down to South America, looking for marlin, swordfish, all the pelagics. Lake Huron, Chinook salmon. We'll see if they're coming back or not. Costa Rica, birthplace of tuna. Let's see if we can go find any. Lake Michigan, beautiful steelhead trout fishing there. Can't wait. We're out on St. Mary's River, in between Lake Huron and Lake Superior. Heading up towards the Sault Ste. Marie Rapids. Got a little bit of fog on the water. Broke up real quick. By the time we got there, everything was clear. Maverick handlebar bracket. Okuma rods and reels. Been using them for years. Trust them explicitly. And those are Scotty rod straps there. Don't leave home without those, that's for sure. Beautiful. Ego nets, Maverick bags. We're in some shallows. Let's have a little look. This is shallow. I wouldn't be having no boat in there with the prop. Fish on. Tighten up the drag a little bit. Make sure he's hooked nice. Get the skeeve turned around. Oh, beautiful jump. That's what rainbows are known for right there. That's why people come from all over the world just to fish rainbow. Jumpers, fighters, right to the end. And beautiful, beautiful fish. You know, I might be from the north, but I think of fish, I think of these babies right here. Rainbow trout. Doesn't get any better. Beautiful sport fish. They've been propagated all around the world. Reintroduced. Introduced for the first time. I heard a story about somebody in Saudi Arabia. Some prince over there had more money than God and figured he was going to stock a whole river full of rainbow. It took a while, but he hired some British guy out of England and they figured it out. Kuma SST. Those rods and Nomad rods are the ones I use. Ice. Bergs. In the St. Mary's River in Ontario. Come on. But here they are. Wouldn't want to hit one of those doing 55 miles an hour. Shipping lanes opened up. Sioux Locks Tours coming over from the Michigan side. Red-headed loons. This is Stacy, heading out for a day of fishing. Hang on. Well, we're out there. She loses her hat. Oh, that's number one. This is how to impress a woman. Get her wet. Soaked. Watch this from behind. Yeah, definitely soaked. Oh well, you're on a sea-doo. You're on the water. You're gonna get wet. Now, how to really impress a woman? Get her wet twice. Oh, let's watch that from behind. Yeah, impressive. Well, by the time we got there, we were blown dry. Into the fishing grounds. It's the same bottom of St. Mary's Rapids. Pretty good fishing here. I like the rubber boots. We're dressed for the weather. It's early in the year. Dressed for the weather. We're the only ones out there. Stacy, she's tough as nails, that one. Yeah, ma'am. Beautiful day to be on the water. Little speed demon. I've had a few of my buddies out there fishing with me, and they're scared to sit on backwards going up the rapids. Tells you a lot about Stacy. Well, we didn't get anything that day. Usually early in the season, it's pretty rough fishing out there. It's transient fish only. So they're usually in there chasing spawn or mating or in there defending territory. Hey, good looking with your hair all messed up. Welcome back. A little glamour shot. Hey, look at the ponytail. That's the first time I ever had a ponytail. Stacy said I was bothering her with my hair flapping around in her face. I don't blame her. Told her not to put it in a bun, but I see she did. This was another time we were launching a little later in the season, warmed up. Get her out there, get her on a fish. Back to the bun. Those are my Carolina floating docks. Got a pair of them. Those are my old Maverick saddlebags. Those are the prototypes. Those have been out in the sun 3 years. They've never been inside on that machine for 3 years. Held up, still held up. I finally traded them out for the new bags we got. They're so much better. Man, we redesigned them 2-3 times now just to get them perfect. A little warp stabilization for you. Nice legs, Stacy. I think I might have been peeking there. I'm not sure. Early in the summer, there's a lot of debris in the water. So I was just clearing her line there. We had a lot of fun out on the water fishing. Did some swimming. Wanted to do some water skiing, but didn't get that done. Shared a few jokes, a few laughs. No. Well, off we go. Let's see if we can get a fish in the boat. We're getting a little later in the season now, so I would imagine our luck's going to change here. Not too many boats can keep up with even a regular aspirated jet ski, PWC. That boat was one we passed on the way down. Turned around, passed it on the way up. I get a kick out of this. Hey. Uh-oh. Kill me for that one. Hang on. Riding backwards. That's trust for you. Well, we're in a spot. I'm bringing a fish once in a while. Oh, fish on. Got one. Right on. This is our third time out. Usually early in the summer, it's tough fishing. But as it warms up, fish start coming in. This one was an odd fish. When I saw the back coming up, I thought it was an Atlantic. It had checker marks on it, but it's obviously a rainbow. Just had kind of strange markings on the back. It wasn't the usual dots. She's pretty happy. This was her first fish. First fish ever. Can you imagine? And we pretty much had to keep this guy. You can see one of his arteries got broken. See the blood coming down the side. So he wasn't going back. That was going to be supper for Stacy and her son. That's a smile. Hey, that's a smile. That's a happy girl. Put a smile on a girl's face, take her fishing. And then you know you got to keep her. Showing the love. Into the Maverick saddlebag. Catch side. That was a good day. Now we're up in northern Ontario. This is on Lake Superior. Cold water. That's a cargo wave, man. That is one of the coolest things. That changed everything for me. This is the second season I was out on Lake Superior, out on the lake with that cargo wave. It's a water sleigh. Carries gas, tents, you name it. Sleeping bags, everything you need to go camping. So that's exactly what I did. Loaded up the bus and we moved to Beverly. Well, northern Ontario, that is. I think what we're going to do is put a skin on that cargo wave, make it black. Match the Yamaha FXHO I've got. We're turning it into a Navy SEAL look-alike watercraft. Man, I gotta tell you about this tent. That's a Coleman tent. It's a blackout tent. It completely blacks out the sun in the morning. It throws you off. It takes a little bit of getting used to. You gotta bring an alarm clock or you'll sleep right through the morning because there's no light getting in through that. It's amazing. That was a wave from a peak in the middle of the lake in the straits between the mainland and the island that I was on. And it would crest a wave. It was so cool. A little salamander. This is a little farther north yet. Got some rocky crags, rocky face. This was our first actual day on the water. Nice rolling waves coming in off the Great Lakes, off of Lake Superior. Typical Great Lake bottom. Lake Erie is a little flatter and sandier, but up north here, Lake Huron, Lake Michigan, Superior, they're pretty rocky bottoms. I always bring this guy along with me. Got a filter. I can just dip that thing in the Lake Superior and drink right out of the bottle. That's my Scotty's transducer arm, Vexilar transducer. Got my little pouch. Grab my phone. It's got the Navionics app on it. Tells me where I am. I can mark any spots, any fish, see what's going on. That's the Wi-Fi hotbox by Vexilar. That gives me my sonar so I can see if there's any fish down there. I was marking fish all day. This is my Scotty depth finder. It's got a 3-pound ball on it. It's light, but it works. That's a Scotty rail mounted onto the GTX that I got. Again with the handlebar bracket. Right around noon, waves pick up a little bit. As always, that's the typical way that Lake Superior goes. Morning flat, all through noon, afternoon. She gets a little rough. Even if it's nice weather, still gets a little rough. And then in the evening, flat as a board. Beautiful. Beautiful. Well, I spotted a cove in between two islands. Water was crystal clear in there. Real nice. A little beaver dam. I went to investigate. I was looking for a camp spot in there, but the brush was grown right up to the edge of the water. Little sandier. You can tell that it gets a little calmer water in there because the sediment has settled out of the water and onto the bottom as compared to the other shots we were looking at. We got chased out of there on the second day. We had to get out of there. There was a big storm coming in, thunder, lightning, not to be on the water, not to be on an island in the middle of nowhere, that's for sure. So we booted her back into a ramp, got out of there. Didn't Mama ever tell you not to play on a kite? Well, took a half an hour, but they finally caught us. Helicopter, 2 boats. That was a lot of fun. Gave them something to do for the day. License and registration, please. They even had to bring in a second boat. Helicopter. Like I say, they livened up their day. Well, we're on the water. Christian LeMay's out with me. Doing a little fishing. Doing a little filming. Usually I'm out here by myself, but real nice having Buddy out there. Straightening away my lines. You can see the way that the rods whip back and forth on the handlebar bracket. Amazing trigger for getting fish to strike a lure. Checking my lines. Make sure we're not fouled up in the bottom or we got any of that sea snot. Oh, we got a little guy on. Fish on. Get turned around, shut the motor off. Now we're going to be floating downstream right on top of that fish. So you want to reel like crazy. When you get to the fish is going to be right at your toes and he's still going to be full of piss and vinegar. Those buoys there, I didn't even notice it. Fight the fish. Those are from the M&R. They check for all your little fingerlings and all your baby fish. They use it to measure how well the fish stocks are in the lakes and rivers. Yeah, I should have got some new bags. Those are 3 years old. They've never been inside. They've never left that machine. They're left outside in the winter. Oh, we got a whopper on here. I was just telling him to stand his distance. I was going to have to turn his way because he was a big guy. I wasn't going to be able to fool around with this one. Get my other line in nice and quick. Leave my motor on, keep the tension on this guy so he doesn't throw the hook. Turn into the rod that has gone off. Kill the power to the machine. Float right down onto this big guy. Man, I did not realize how big he was till I got on top of him. Woof. Man, nice fish. Look at this guy. laying there, just daring me to get in there and touch them. Man, that is a big fish. That's a rainbow. Some people call them steelheads, but not me. That's got too much color in it. I believe that's a river rainbow. I don't think that's you'd call that a steelhead. A little underwater action with this big guy. Plenty of fight in him. Now I go to see if this net, I always touch him a few times just to see if all the fight's out of him or not. And it wasn't. I finally had to bring him in by hand. He was just too big for the net. That was crazy. I've caught plenty like that, but I haven't caught too many that were on camera. I was real happy Christian was out there with me that day, boy. Look at that. You probably fit 8 of those in that bag. I've had 2 king mackerel, 4-footers in there before. Well, here's half the fun of PWC fishing, ripping up some water.
Throttling down as the shuttle prepares to go through the maximum dynamic pressure in the lower atmosphere.
See you later, alligator. Back at the ramps. This is always the fun part. Yeah, man. Yeah, baby. See you later, guys. Come on back. Bye-bye.